Pete Hegseth is in super hot water today. Even Trump is starting to basically distance himself from him. All right. So his legal actions are the farthest thing from the heart of what I would say the United States military is legally allowed to do, and what the law of armed conflict requires when people are no longer, a threat. Washington Post journalists citing officials with direct knowledge reported that Hegseth's order was to kill everybody. They reported that drone operators saw 2 survivors still clinging to the wreckage after the first strike, and that the Post says a second strike was launched specifically to follow that order, even though the survivors, did not pose any type of immediate threat, period. Okay, so this is where the legal dangers begin. Under the law of armed conflict, anyone who is, out of combat, including wounded survivors, cannot be targeted. Okay, and that's a legal fact. That standard is not optional. Okay, it's not political. It's basically the same rule that the United States prosecutors have used to try, war crimes around the world for decades, actually. And this is the context that, was spelled out on the Morning Joe. Check out this clip right here.
Pete Hegseth, Republicans bragging about the kill strikes, killing everybody in the waters. Right now, it's a dangerous time legally for Pete Hegseth. Yep. It gets more dangerous if he is spending this time furiously going around, trying to cover it up, trying to make phone calls. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying this is when people really get in trouble in his position, because he's been exposed. He's got the House Armed Services and Senate Armed Services Republican chairman getting the evidence. There are 5 people that are already talking about this. This genie is out of the bottle. And that's why nobody has said that President Trump knows what was going on, but they certainly have said Pete Hegseth delivered the kill orders. And so now if Pete Hegseth is going around trying to cover this up, this is when a situation goes from being very dangerous for him to being even more dangerous. So it is there. The evidence is there. And there's no circling back. Doesn't matter that you now are only letting people like Chinese religious cults cover your Pentagon, and that you've kicked out all the real news services. The Washington Post, the much maligned, let us say, Washington Post, over the past 6 months, broke this story, and the evidence is there. The names are there. The House Armed Services Committee, the Senate Armed Services Committee, they've got the details, getting the details. And how interesting, the Democrats, when they released that video a week or 2 ago, 3 months after these kill strikes and the kill orders, the alleged kill orders, they knew what was going on. And it's hard not to believe that's not the reason they put that out.
And that would certainly explain Secretary Hegseth's really over-the-top reaction to the video. Perhaps he knew this was...
That's what I was thinking.
Saying to execute them after, as Andy McCarthy said, if the reporting is right, that Pete Hegseth
seems
is the
rather
one
trigger-happy,
who has put himself in an extraordinarily dangerous legal situation.
Yeah, and certainly let's not understate this. This is a very serious matter. As our friend Tom Nichols and others have pointed out in recent days, this type of incident where survivors were shot as they were clinging to a boat, that happened in World War II. Japanese soldiers shot Americans who were clinging to boats. Those Japanese soldiers were later convicted and executed. Because that is indeed a war crime. That's how serious this is.
The panel went even further. I mean, they compared the alleged second strike to World War II. It was a case in which, Japanese soldiers shot American survivors in the water after a ship was hit. Those soldiers, like they said, were later tried and executed for war crimes. Yikes, right? And they made that comparison because the standard is, identical. If someone is clearly out of the fight and not posing an immediate threat, they cannot be targeted. Period. All right. Hegseth has not denied the reporting. Instead, he's, attacking the press. He called the reporters, fabricated, and posted a graphic. Guys, wait till you see this. My God. Posted a graphic of a children's book. And that children's book character was firing a rocket launcher, I think it was an RPG if I remember correctly, from a helicopter at, boats in the water. But none of that, answers the actual question. I mean, did he give the order that violated the law? And did a second strike kill 2 people who could have been detained? The House and Senate Armed Services Committees are investigating. At least 5 people are cooperating. And if the Washington Post reporting holds up, this will not be a political debate, okay? It will be a legal one, period, okay? About whether a U.S. cabinet official issued a order that crossed a line the United States has prosecuted others for crossing.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected and informed to the stories that matter, the people that matter, and most importantly, the truth. The thing that is so hard to find right now. And just so you guys know, I do the best that I can to answer the comments. So I really hope to see you guys in there.